thrive or survive. The choice is yours. In most cases, the choice is yours. And what I mean by thrive or survive is, where is your head at right now? What is going on in terms of, are you surviving in terms of just making sure that you keep hold of everything you have and you don't lose everything, and you're protecting, so you're kind of working to not lose, right? It's that mentality versus the thrive mentality, whereas it's about looking at this whole situation as an opportunity and looking for the opportunities that arise in this particular time of our lives, whereby there's potential to grow. So it is a spectrum. It's not that you can only survive or only thrive, but there's going to be one overall theme or feeling that you're going to have when it comes to your day-to-day actions and your day-to-day thoughts and your day-to-day results. So it comes back to this, which camp are you in? And this comes up because personally it's affected me in terms of how, for some parts of these past couple of months, there have been lulls, there have been dips, and I think it's only natural to have those feelings. Those feelings of, okay, there's so much uncertainty going on, and we don't know what's going to happen, and there's so much that's out of our control. So therefore, we go into this flight or fight mode where we're protecting everything that we have. Okay, so we go into this survival mode of protecting what we have. However, at some point, I decided that I no longer wanted to just survive, and for me, what it felt like was wanting to stay the same, wanting to get back to normal, when in fact that was never going to be possible, in terms of, say, going back to normal where you can just go out and see friends, going back to normal where you can just jump in the car, go and see your family, give them a big hug, right? Going back to normal where you can train 25 people at a time in one room all together, sweating and huffing and puffing together, whatever it is, whatever that normal was. There were times where I felt like that myself, in terms of having that survival kind of mentality where it's like, okay, I need to protect everything I have. But more and more, it dawned on me that actually it does come down to how we look at this situation. It does come down to ultimately what meaning I give this situation, because we're all presented with this same situation right now worldwide of a lot of stuff has hit the fan, shall we say. And we can look at it, we can look at each day as either an opportunity to thrive or a day full of potential problems. And it's a subtle shift, in mindset, in the way that you think, but it's like, are you then focused on the negatives? Are you focused on the problems? And therefore you're focusing on, okay, how do I stay exactly as I am? Or how do I get back to where I was? Or do you look at it as a situation of opportunity? Do you see it as, okay, this is a challenge? Like in my business, in MPRS, I see it as a challenge now. It's like, what can we do? What can we learn? What can we do to grow this business, this reach, this mission that we have in what is unprecedented times, okay? I don't say that word very often because I'm bored of hearing it. Like many people, I'm bored of so many things in this situation. However, it's about what you focus on, because the more you focus on it, the more focus you have on something, the more it tends to grow, the more energy you tend to put into it. So my energy and my focus right now is on helping more people than ever before to feel better, because right now so many people are craving getting out of the house. So many people are craving the opportunity to get out, go and train, feel better, work on their mental health, get some exercise in, get out of this rut that they feel that they've been thrown into in terms of the situation of, again, you know, the classic things that people are having to juggle right now. The homeschooling, the working from home, those two alone being combined have been an absolute storm, shall we say, when it comes to being at home, because suddenly there seems to be even less time, there seems to be even less energy for people to be able to spend that time doing things for themselves. Okay, so it really does come down to how we address the situation in front of us, the situation that we have. And I know that we'll have different situations behind closed doors as to what's going on at home. And I think there is massive value, there's life-changing value in your perspective, in how you get to change your perspective by changing what you make this situation mean. This came up for me in a coaching call of my own with me and my coach. It's about what you make it mean to you in terms of, you know, like, do I see this as a massive opportunity, as one of the biggest opportunities in my lifetime, in the business's life, to be able to make even more of an impact on the wider community here in Yorkshire? Or do I see it as, woe is me, let's play the victim card, everything has gone to SHIT, look at all the problems around us, right? Even just saying those things out loud has an impact on my body language, has an impact on your body language. So imagine thinking those thoughts, having that perspective, having that focus every day, channeled towards that survival mental attitude as opposed to that thrive attitude. So there's no right or wrong, it's just where are you at the moment between 100% thriving and 100% surviving? There's no kind of smack in the middle. It's either you're more leaning towards thriving and making the most of the opportunities that you have, of being resourceful with what you have in front of you, with everything that you can be grateful for, or is it about purely looking at all the problems that lay before us, at all of the things that have gone wrong? Where is your attention? Because ultimately where your energy flows, that's where your focus goes, and that is ultimately what you're going to get more of. So if you're of the mindset that everything is a problem, you're just going to see, your brain is going to filter so that it proves to you that you're right, that there are just lots of problems out there? Or do you focus on where are the opportunities, and your brain is then going to switch that filter so that it sees more and more opportunities for you to grow, have that growth mindset and make the best of this. Like, we are into the second half of 2020 already. A lot of people have taken the decision to take the survival attitude of just writing the rest of this year off. Like, there's still pretty much 6 months of this year to go and people are already writing it off. Whereas you could use these next 6 months to do the stuff that is going to make a massive difference to your long-term health, fitness and happiness. Or yes, you could take the survival attitude of, let's write all this off, let's just ride it out for the next 6 months, and then come January, it's going to happen all over again. everything will be back to some kind of normality, but then January's coming round, it's rearing its head again, and we're back into that mentality, that yo-yo mentality of, okay, it's a new year, let's start again. But it happens every single year, and I'll be doing another one of these videos where I'm saying break that cycle, and you'll see this video again and you'll be wishing that, 6 months previous or prior to seeing that video, that I wish I'd done something, because I'd be in a different place. Because it comes down to breaking that cycle of trying lots of different things and ultimately having that survival mentality, or having that quick fix mentality, as opposed to having that thrive mentality, where it's going to really change the way you think on a daily basis, and therefore change the way you act on a daily basis. Because it's all of those hundreds, if not thousands, of small decisions that you're making on a daily basis. From, you're putting the kettle on. What do you decide to do whilst the kettle's on? If you're thriving, you're going to make certain decisions. If you're in the survival mode, you're going to make other kind of decisions. And then it's just that accumulation of all these small decisions that may seem innocuous at the time, but then they all amass, and it's that cumulative effect that overall gives you that survival attitude or that thriving attitude. So which is it? Which is it? Do you feel like you're thriving? If so, then great, carry on. If you feel like you're just surviving right now and you don't want that, then what are you going to do about it? What actual steps can you take to improve that, so that you can start moving yourself away from the survival attitude and more towards that thrive attitude? My tips for doing that are to, 1, assess and be aware that this is happening. 2, formulate a plan of what you're actually going to do and take massive action and do it. 3, if you don't do it, get help, get support, so that you actually do it, rather than continue doing what you're doing and continue getting the same results that you're getting, of feeling like you're always low on time, so that you feel like you're always lowest in the pecking order because everyone else comes first, feeling like nothing is ever going to change, and that you're on this yo-yo cyclical thing that's going to happen year on year from now until the end of your days, when you're just surviving from day to day. And that makes me want to pull my hair out, to think that people are going to just survive the next, if you're like me, if you're around 40, then to think that you're just going to survive for the next 40 years. Like, when do you start living? When do you start really doing the things that matter to you? When do you start working towards or becoming the best version of yourself? And I don't mean in a cheesy way. I mean like really making the most of what you have in front of us, because sometimes we're just so blind to the fact that we have so much going well for us, and where our focus goes is into that survival mode of only focusing on the stuff that isn't going well for us, and we forget to be grateful for all the stuff that is going right. We have a roof over our heads, we've got electricity, we've got running water. Like, it's an easy thing, and it does come down to a lot of ultimately not being grateful for the stuff that is right in front of your face, but that everyone forgets about. So where are you on that spectrum between thriving and surviving? Assess, plan, take massive action.